Okay, today I'm going to be washing my 1929 Buick Standard 6, and depending on how I feel after, I will go home and bake some brownies or something, maybe. Now, when I say maybe here, it does not mean no. When my parents used to say maybe, it always meant no. So here is the 1929 Buick Standard 6. If you've been keeping up with my videos, you'll know that I do a lot of content about it, and I've driven it everywhere. I drove it to Dallas one time and stayed there for a week, and it was my only car I had in Dallas, so I had to drive it everywhere I needed to go in Dallas. Oh, look, a dragonfly. How unfortunate. Anyway, and one time I drove it to Old City Park in downtown Dallas from my dad's house in Carrollton when I was in Dallas. It took me 3 hours and 30 minutes to get to Dallas, and then I drove it on the tollway right around the Reunion Tower. Anyway, but there it is. So I drove it to Palestine, Texas the other day, and Natchez to that graduation. And I went through a big old puddle of water, and it splashed up, and it was muddy water, as you can see. So I'm just going to be cleaning my car. And now I will hush and get to work. And I'll be cleaning the inside later on with some ivory soap. Since I've had the car, I haven't even had a chance to repair this window crank. And on that side, it's the other thing, the door handle. So I'll get some ivory soap, get the grease out of all this mohair and stuff. And we'll be right as rain. Here's my bucket. It has some holes in the bottom of it, but it's going to work. Just because it will. Okay, let's get some water. I'm going to use this well that I dug here at my grandma's house. If you would like to see the video on this where I made this, it was made in like 2020 or 2021. Let me clean this out first because it's going to come out really dirty at first because I haven't used it in a really long time. I have a check valve in there. It's actually right there to keep this to hold, or to keep it primed so it will hold its prime. This is going to take a while. But basically, to simplify how I dug this, I took a sledgehammer and a sand point, well point, which is like it has a point on it and a little screen filter so dirt can't get in. And then it has a thread on the end where you can just thread on couplers and 1 1/4 inch galvanized pipe. So I used 5 1 1/4 inch galvanized pipes. I think each was like 60 inches in length. I hammered it down into the ground with a sledgehammer, no power tools, 25 feet into the ground. I hit groundwater at 19 feet here. Of course, that would make sense because all the groundwater is running downhill and rushing into the lake over there. So there was for sure going to be groundwater here. I already knew that. In fact, there's a well over there that I didn't know about under that little fountain right there. Because I moved that fountain one day and I found a well, but it was already after I had made this. I was like, are you serious? I did all that and there was a well over there? So, there's that. But that is a man-made lake as well. Believe it or not, Texas only has one natural lake that is not man-made. There's the water. It looks dirty. That is because the bucket was dirty. And the water is a little dirty. And you can see, because there's a hole in the bucket, my whole trail of walking over here. There's a hole in the bucket. Anyway, but it shouldn't leak out all before we finish this. So let's get started. I'll put some soap in there. Okay, I'm going to stop here because, of course, a storm is rolling in. Like, why wouldn't it? So anyway, I'm going to go put this up in its home, and then I will go and bake something. Here are the results of the car wash. I got to work on the other side, too. But there are the tires. I believe these to be the original tires from 1929. People are worried about the crack and everything, but there's actually an inner tube inside of here, just like a bicycle tire. And these are okay, but I believe these to be the original rubber tires. You can actually see where the stickers used to be on there, and they still have the little doodads. So yeah, and these are wood spokes. People always are like, are those really wood? Yes. I don't know why everybody's so blown away by that. Anyway, here it is. Then I gotta work on the back some more. But that storm is coming, and I gotta work on this side some more. But that's it. And then I'll detail the inside. I haven't done these tires, but I don't want the rain to mess everything up and make this all for nothing. Okay, I'm back from washing my Buick. Now I'm going to be making brownies on my 1917 Hughes electric range. Also, a lot of y'all have always asked me where those stairs in there go. I will show you at the end of this video. Okay, let's start by preheating the oven. There it glows. Yes, perfect. Okay, let's start on the brownies. Okay, I have butter. Let's turn on the hottest burner. We'll wait till that glows, because y'all probably want to see it glow, so let's wait any day now. There you go. Perfect. Okay, now we'll melt this butter. That's 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to make baker's chocolate substitute as soon as I find out what the heck I did with my cocoa powder that I have hid from myself. Oh, there it is. Okay, let me get a tablespoon. Not in there, I don't know why, because there it is. Okay, we'll melt this butter. Then we're going to put, this is 2 tablespoons of butter. Now we're going to put 6 tablespoons of cocoa powder. This is going to make up for 2 ounces of unsweetened baker's chocolate. So after we do that, we're going to add 1/3 cup of lard to this. And then a cup of sugar. This butter is almost melted. Can you hurry up and melt? I don't have all day. I hate that sound. I absolutely hate metal on metal. Okay, that's it. I'm getting a wooden spoon. I cannot take that anymore. Okay, there that is. Now we're going to add 1/3 cup of lard to this. I can't remember if eggs come first or the sugar. Okay, the sugar comes first. It's a cup of sugar. Okay, perfect. Stir this. Because we don't want to make scrambled eggs. What is next? I know we put flour in this. 3/4 cup all-purpose flour. Okay, let me get my flour. I keep it in my fridge. Because I'm weird like that. Ooh, flour. Here it is. And to the people who are having a panic attack right now because flour is going everywhere, have you never heard of a vacuum or a broom? Like, I mean, they were invented for a reason. I wonder why that could be. I wonder what you do with those. I guess you're just supposed to sit around and have panic attacks about messes and just own a vacuum and a broom for no reason. It makes total sense. Might as well not cook because you don't need food to live. Okay, now what do we do? We're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Where is my baking powder? There it is. Where did I just put the lid to this? I've hid it from myself. We could add a little more of that just so it'll rise a little bit more. There. Now we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Things are about to get salty. Hopefully I don't get salty. We always must throw it in the devil's eye. Hey. Now you can add, it is optional to add 1½ cups of chopped nuts, whether it be pecans or walnuts or whatever nuts you want to add to this. Anyway, I'm not going to add any nuts. Okay, now I'm going to grease and flour this little pan. You can use an 8x8 pan if you desire. Hopefully I don't get the flour from my hands in here. I probably will. That's good. Yes. Okay, let's bake this. And now we wait. Okay, we're about to go downstairs. My sisters are here. Say hi.
Hi.
And Micah is here.
Hi.
The heck? And let's go downstairs.
He's a weirdo.
Okay, come on. Come on, everybody.
I'm gonna whoop Micah. I'm going with shut up.
I need the flashlight.
I'm
I'll push you down.
Bruh.
I'll push you.
Hey, don't